Over there, it wasn't new guy. It was like newer guy. And instead of like, fuck you, you idiot, it's like, here, let me show you how that, come on. Let me show you a quicker way to make that 7-foot charge of C6. Come on, watch this.
So it's actually pretty fucking welcoming.
Yeah, it is. A green team, they fucking hammer you.
Yeah.
But they all go through it. And then once you're through, like I saw green team instructors that I thought were the meanest motherfuckers in the world. Once you get to the second deck, it's forgotten. It's a game. I want you. It's the same in buds. They're fucking hammering you because I will have to go to war with you. I might. Can you do it?
Yeah.
But then you get up there and it's like you got friends everywhere. You know everybody, and now we're going to war. And I mean, other than a couple things, we weren't losing a lot of fights, so it didn't really hit. You know, my first deployment. Well, that's when it hit because my first deployment was to Jalalabad, Afghanistan. We were running a safe house, which is some guys cooler than me and probably a 3-letter agency carried a briefcase full of money and bought a small hotel and then hired locals to be security and plumbers and shit cooks. And then here's your safe house. And it's a safe house because you're stimulating the economy. You're paying the guards and they will work for money. You're shopping in the bazaars, you're eating shawarmas out in town, and then, you know, the family around you doesn't want to get mortared, so they'll make sure that Taliban doesn't come in. And that's my first one. And I'd never been to war, and I'd only seen it on TV, so I assumed it was as bad as it was on TV. I assumed there's a suicide bomber around every corner. Everyone's going to be shooting at you. It's going to blow up all the time. And it took a while to realize that in a war zone, most of the people just want to get on with their lives and raise their families. Most of the people are not combatants. They're just fucking over it. But the first few times we were doing some new technology in Jalalabad, we're doing, we're doing Mount in JBED.
So hold on, just for the audience, Mount is just...
military operations, urban terrain. So it's urban fighting. So it's like everywhere. It's a not just a 360 range. It's everything range, and you can get shot at from anywhere, and you don't even know why. Something can blow up. Everything next to you can blow up. And I remember thinking that I'm kind of wasting my energy jumping behind shit, and you know, I think we had 4 dudes.
That's it.
4 guys from Red Team, to include 3 SEALs, 1 EOD. But at that time, EOD was going through Green Team with us, so I mean they're shooters. And I remember jumping around, like looking, and I looked at my boss, who was he was involved in Operation Anaconda, where Roberts Ridge happened, and he'd been awarded a Silver Star for some of the shit they did. And I was watching him, and I remember looking over, and he's got like body armor, short sleeves, big old beard, like he's got one of those cop radios, and I remember looking at him thinking, I want to be cool like that. I want to look cool like that. And we got back, and I told him, I'm not kissing your ass, but how weren't you afraid? And he goes, well, how do you know I wasn't afraid? I said, because you didn't look like it. And he goes, that's right. You don't know if I'm afraid, but if I show you that I'm calm, you'll be calm. Calm is contagious. And that's how you learn. It's like, okay, that's fucking cool. I just got to look cool. And so we did a couple things here and there. Well, like one of the funniest things I saw was we learned that if you run into a foreign fighter is anyone not from Afghanistan, or if you're not Iraq, anyone not from Iraq. So you got Jordanians or Saudi Arabians, and if you run into them, they look different. They speak Arabic. They're there for one reason. Right? They're not teaching school. They're Al Qaeda.
Yeah.
We ran into. I got a very short course in how to be a battlefield interrogator. So my job was to, and we invented these tactics as we went along. As soon as we took a house down, shots fired or not, whoever's surviving, we're interrogating them right now. You know, put the interpreter behind them. I'm interrogating you because you catch them with their pants down. They're nervous. They don't know how to act. I ran into a Saudi Arabian's big fat dude, and I instantly started laughing. I said to him through the interpreter, I said, "You don't know what that T-shirt you're wearing says, do you?" And he had no idea. His T-shirt said, "It's not a beer belly, it's a fuel tank for a sex machine." And so I'm like, you just saved yourself a beating, because that's awesome.
I wish you had a picture of that.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I had that shirt. If I'd have known any better, I'd take it from him. Made an NFT out of it. But yeah, I mean, so we were doing that kind of stuff, and it was that's what we do. I'm getting to know the locals. I'm getting to know a little bit of the traditions, how you do this, getting to know the local food, you know, even driving to Asadabad up the Konar River. At the time, because we were doing it right, and we hadn't pissed off everyone yet where there's IEDs. But one night we would drive dirt bikes around town, locals that we would purchase the local bikes. We would put on the Protec drive to. This is when the airfield wasn't built up. This is there was still Russian shit there. And like the Rangers stayed there, the Ranger sniper teams were there, a couple Marines were there and stuff, and we they're putting up a few tents here and there, and they said, hey, some guys from the East Coast just flew in, some helicopters. I was like, fuck, let's go see them. And so we drove over there. That turned out to be a Turbine 3-3, and I bullshitted with some of those dudes. Talked to Dan Healy about Sam Adams. I went to sniper school with Dan Healy, and he loves Sam Adams. He's a New Englander, and we're like, what's the deal? And they said. We just inserted 4 snipers into the Korengal Valley. They're looking for Ahmad Shah. And then once they find him with eyes on, we're going to go hit the house. And we were like, fuck yeah, can we go? And so we were trying to work at skiing because our head shed from 6 was in Bagram. And they told us, no one from SEAL Team 6 is getting on those helicopters. We think there's missiles. And we were like, yeah, cool, man. Fucking have a good fight. And I had some of my guys were down for Maybach, so we took them back to our safe house. And we had some contingency funds that you're supposed to use to build up the infrastructure. So we had some dude build this stupid cold tub, like the size of a hot tub, but it's cold. And we were just sitting there. We could get Heineken over there. So we were sitting there having, and actually the Heineken story is funny because when I first got there, they had a place where we could send the interpreter to get booze for us. I mean, obviously no one drinks overseas, but we sent them there, and the price was, I want to say $20 for a bottle of Stolichnaya vodka and $30 for a case of Heineken. And so we sent the Terps out. My Terp was Larry because we couldn't pronounce his name, so he's just Larry. And we sent him out to get some stuff. And I'm the newer guy there, but I'm now, I'm over there, and he came back with nothing. He said, yeah, the guy running the shop said, I know who you're selling this to. These are for the Americans, and the prices went from 20 and 30 to 50 and 60. And I'm like, fuck this. Are you kidding me? Get your shit on. So we roll over there and we go to the guy, look, I can appreciate inflation. At 20, 30, you go 25, 35, that's fine. You raise it that high. You can't sell booze in the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. I'm going to take it all for free and put you in jail. And he goes, 25 and 35 is fine, my friend. I'm like, motherfucker, couldn't we just done this in the first place? so we're at the safe house, and we were actually, technically a Ranger Major was in charge of us. We did have a senior enlisted guys with us, but the Ranger Major was kind of running it between Jalalabad airfield and our safe house. And he came out, and we're drinking Heineken in this pub, and he said, hey, your boys just got fucked up. We got to go.
Oh shit!
And we're like, whoa, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, they just shot a helo down, and we gotta go.
That was your first deployment over there?
Yeah, first one.
How long were you in country before that?
I was almost done, so 3.5 months, and this is June. And we rolled over. I ran into a few guys I knew from SEAL Team 2 that had put me through training, Master Chiefs that were there, and the other helicopter that missed, and I don't know if it was 3-4 or 3-2, got missed. The pilots landed in the wrong spot on a different base in Jalalabad because something happened. So other guys were coming in that didn't get shot down, and I remember they said, yeah, it just came out of the valley and turned, and it hit, and it went down. At 3-3 went down, and one of them missed us.
Damn.
So we're talking to guys that just got shot at by surface-to-air missiles, even though technically that's not what happened. They're telling me face-to-face missiles were coming out of that valley. And it was more of a holy shit. I mean, it's good to see you because the world's still a decent place because you're still alive or whatever the fuck we're saying. And they came out and said, look, there's a crash site. We got to get up there. And they're not going to fly us because they're shooting down helicopters now. So figure it out. And we're running around this makeshift airfield, and there's like a bee hut full of Rangers, and we're like, hey, we here's the situation, and we told them, and we're like, I need 5 guys, and all 20 of them jumped up and said, we should take us 10 minutes to get ready. We'll be out in 3. And then they came out. We decided to go get whatever vehicle you can, steal shit, commandeer it. We're driving as far as we can, and then we're humping up into the valley. And we didn't know if there were survivors. We didn't know what happened, but we knew Taliban was up there. And so we drove as far as we could, and then we started walking up. And this is daytime. It's, I don't know, 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit humidity, and we're humping up to the point where there were dudes like I carry too many mags because it's so. There were dudes passing shit back to like who's taking it? Just drop it if it's too. So keep water. Maybe we can get airlift or something. And then we humped up for 10 hours. So we're not quite there yet. And I remember looking around saying, hey, did any of you guys call home before we left on this thing? And they're like, no, why? And it's like, well, all our families know is a bunch of SEALs from Virginia just got killed and they haven't heard from us. And so that's going through your mind too. We're sticking each other with IVs, hanging them in trees and stuff. And I remember looking at a guy saying, this is why training is so hard. Because if we were going to quit right now, where the fuck are we going to go? We're here. So we kept going up. They did fly in a helicopter from Bagram, more of Red Squadron. They got to the crash site first. So I don't know who wants that job, but they got the job, and they're going to go to the crash site and find it. And some of the stories that I've heard were like Lou Langlis was looking at the crash site and he said, I'm going to go try to get some intel from the village. And he looked over and said, I just never want to die like that. And Lou was on Extortion 17.
Damn.
And these are just hearsay stories about, it's life is fragile, man. And so we started humping back down. We're trying to leave this. The sun's going down, and then we spotted some Taliban on the opposite ridge line, and we're like, fuck it, let's call in. Who wants to hit them? And the cloud cover was coming in, and nobody wanted to get under it. Because fucking you're in the Western Himalayas, man. This is Hindu Kush shit. But the A-10s would, and that's the first time I've seen an A-10 get called in, and it was so low and it came over us. And an A-10 obviously shoots, what is it? How many rounds? 3,000 rounds a minute or something crazy? Something crazy. I don't know. Someone's going to correct me, but it's a lot. It's so much it sounds like a growl. And when it came over us, the first thing we heard was the bullets going supersonic. Then we heard it. No, so we saw the smoke, heard him supersonic, heard him hit, then we heard it shoot. So it's... And that's when he... There was a Marine, I know people have heard this, seen the meme, but I'm pretty sure it was coined that day. There was a Marine or a young private in the Army that said, it is true what they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Except an A-10. An A-10 will fucking kill you. It's awesome.
Oh, shit. So...
Then we walked down, and we're closer to Asadabad than we are. And it had been maybe 2 days. And we're closer to Asadabad than we are to Jalalabad. So we're going to go to Abad, and we're going to rack out there. They've got beds or a floor. I don't give a shit. We've been awake for so long. And that's when the dude that got the note from Marcus, he showed up. So he's got this.
You were there when that guy showed up?
When the guy showed up. And because we had an argument with the, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers here, but we had an argument with the agency because they never want to burn a source, which is fine. That's their thing, gathering intel. But this guy knows where Marcus is, and you're taking us there right now. And I don't give a shit if they kill you. What's it worth thinking? Their agency's yelling, and something along the lines of, well, we're not sure if this is him because he didn't cross the T's in his name, Luttrell. And we're like, yeah, but it's on TAC notes, and he got his fucking social right. It's him. We're going. So there was a big argument there. I'm pretty sure, I know a guy got fired for that. One of the Rangers got fired, I think banned from the country, but he made the call. We're going to go. So then we got back in the car. We drove around the Pesh River Valley. You're going around Abad up to Pesh, which now you're in no man's land. And Marcus, I guess, had gone from the Korangal into the Shuriak Valley, which are these are two neighboring valleys, and people don't understand in Afghanistan. There have been families living in these valleys for 10,000 years that have never met.
Yeah.
Like you're not allowed in.
And hate each other.
Hate, yeah. They'll cut your head off and put old school Dracula, put it on a stake type shit. So we're driving in there, and this is a part where I've seen Afghanistan's a different world, and people don't understand that. When I first got to Red Team, I was asking guys, "What's Afghanistan like?" They said, "You just have to see it because you're not going to believe me."
Yeah.
And so we went up there, and they don't have water. And I remember seeing there's kids. I'm a father, and I'm seeing these kids. I remember handing a bottle of water to a little girl. She opened it, dumped it out so she could play with the plastic. So then we're humping up again. another mountain, and it's just steep terrain. And then we knew he was up and over. Marcus is down in this village, and we got up almost to the top. And one of my guys said, I got to sit down. I can't go anymore. We've been awake for three and a half days. I can't go. And I said, that's okay. We'll just tell Mrs. Luttrell, Marcus's mom, that we were this close, but we didn't get him because you got tired. And he goes, yeah, you're right. And I said, do me a favor. Tell that shit to me in 1 minute because I don't think I can go any further. And so we're just, whatever, trying to get up to the top. And that's, Rangers came in, helos. They did get Marcus out. And then now we're just in the Shuriak Valley. It's like, all right, well, let's try to live our way out of this one. And then,
So wait, you weren't with the Rangers? It was just 4 of you guys?
No. We were with Rangers, and there were Marines and shit there. I'll never forget seeing Marines because like we got to choose what we would wear. I'd had no body armor, a couple mags, and a shirt. They're wearing full. Like first sergeant told me I need to wear all this shit. Like I said at the beginning, Marines are fucking bad motherfuckers. They will take shitty gear and make it suck even more. Semper Fi, baby. But yeah, the Rangers flew in, and that was ballsy too because one of our options was. Let me back up. When we had that dude, Afghanistan might as well be the 13th century. We showed this guy an aerial photo of his village on an iPad. I might as well have just showed him an actual picture of Allah. This dude looking at an iPad. Like, 1 minute you're fucking your animal, now you're looking at an iPad. So we were gonna fly in. He couldn't really pick it up, but we thought this could be a mud suck. We're just gonna walk. But Rangers, fucking being Rangers, man, we'll do it, and they did, and they got him. And then we lived our way out, and then the remaining 2 or 3 weeks is a miserable deployment. We lost so many great guys on that helo.
Yeah.
And then so that's deployment number 1.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's a...
It was intense. I mean, because at first we were just having fun and it wasn't real. I mean, it was real, but like the fighting's over. Army, the Green Berets and CIA took care of that shit. They bombed the fuck out of them. We're gonna rebuild or something, and then Delta's gonna find Bin Laden. We're just gonna do this. The food was great.
Yeah. So what were you guys doing before that?
We were just testing new technology, trying to find. We found a few minor Al Qaeda guys in town. we actually there's a video online where we put these. There was an Al Qaeda guy working at a gas station. He was laundering money and funding shit because that's one of the major ways. There's only